Building a new habit oftentimes is basically freaking impossible. On the first day, you're super pumped and excited and you do it super easy. Then on the second day, you barely slip by and you do it right before going to bed. Then on the third day, boom, life hits you right in the face and it's raining. Or your boss yelled at you. Or you just slept like shit. You make up some excuse and decide not to do the new habit. Then on every other day following that, you just drop the habit and go back to your old routine. Well, it doesn't have to be like that. And I'm gonna share 10 different ways you can start testing out in your life. So hopefully that's not you, and you can build up these new awesome habits that you want to add to your life. So for starters, just focus on a singular habit. I have done this so many times stupidly in the past. I try to add so many different habits to my life, and I completely forget that I have a finite amount of energy and I still need to do all of the other habits and stuff that I do on a daily basis. And I just magically think, I must have a crap ton of more energy to do these 6 new habits, part of my special morning routine. And of course, it doesn't stick. So just choose one habit, focus on it for at least 2 weeks, and then if you feel comfortable, add on another one. Or even give yourself more time to really drive that habit in. Next up, we've got one that's literally super simple, but extremely powerful. I learned it from Precision Nutrition because I'm doing their men's coaching at the moment. And anyways, it's called Notice and Name. So as you're going throughout your day, you literally just want to say aloud what you're currently doing, just noticing what you're doing and naming it. So for example, I'm watching Netflix or I'm recording a YouTube video. As you start to do that, you'll actually be aware of the activities that you're doing, because oftentimes we're literally on autopilot and following our various routines. Once we know what we're actually doing and we can be aware of it in the moment, we can actually see what the patterns are and start to figure out what bad habits we're doing or what good habits we are doing and we want to do more of. Number 3 is we want to make it easy to actually succeed. So redefine what it actually means to do a specific habit. Not actually completing the entire thing, but you get rewarded if you do a singular step. A good example is like, say I want to go to the gym 4 times a week. And on a certain day, I know I'm supposed to go, but I'm feeling a little tired. Some of you might be like, yo, but you didn't go to the gym. How is that a win? You didn't do your habit. The thing is, we want to be actually training our mind each step of the way towards that habit. And if we're doing something associated with that habit, we're starting to build the muscle memory and understanding that certain cues and triggers actually start that habit. And also think of it like this. Would you rather have positive momentum, feeling good about doing a singular step of the habit and progressively getting there, so the next day you feel good about yourself and you want to keep going on? Or would you like to beat yourself up, which is what I have done way too much in the past, and tell yourself, you messed up, you suck, you didn't do it. It's not really setting us up for success for what we actually want to add on. So just try to be kinder to yourself. Oftentimes we are our worst critics. Treat yourself like how you would treat a friend. Then we've got, remember that you're human. You're not a machine. You're going to have ups and downs. Progress isn't linear. It's going up and down progressively in a certain direction. So you're going to have bad days and be okay with them. Just continue on and visualize and ask yourself the question, what can I be doing in the next couple moments to actually be the person that I want to be? And just try to do that. And just focus on the singular steps at each moment. And if you're really not able to do it, again, just do it the next day. Or like I mentioned before, just do a small little step of the habit and move on. The next thing that has really worked out for me is going to be set stuff up for yourself in advance. So again, if you want to go to the gym, lay out your clothes the night before or in the morning, that later on in the day when you have decision fatigue and your energy is a little bit lower, you see it. It will trigger the response to do the habit, and it just makes it easier than having to go into the cupboard, get your gym clothes. And this can be applicable to any single habit. You're just already starting and committing to yourself that you actually want to do the habit. You don't have to make the decision in the moment. Another one that you might have heard of and probably are going to hate if you're a minimalist. I would define myself as more of an essentialist, but anyways, if you're a minimalist, you're not gonna like this one, but getting certain objects and associating them just with the habit. So for example, when I see this, I know it's time for my evening routine and to kind of wind down. This is usually 3 hours before bed. And when I see this, I know it's time to do my light breathing breath work. And it doesn't have to be just with material things. You can set certain spaces for certain actions and routines. For example, the bedroom is just for going to sleep. I'm now currently testing out different coffee shops for different parts in my creative process. One specifically for researching, another one for writing, another one for general admin stuff. And it's pretty cool. It's like once you get there, you're actually able to just instantly click in and you know what to do. Like you just go with the flow. The next one is going to be one that is very dear to my heart, which is tracking my progress. I'm specifically doing it on Notion with a bunch of checkboxes and a database, but you can literally do it any way you want. Even pencil and paper works lovely. So say you have a specific goal that you want to improve your sleep. Well, you can't just go and improve your sleep. There has to be certain things in our behaviors that we actually need to do on a daily, weekly basis to get towards our certain goal. So we want to be tracking that. Did I go to bed, for example, at 10 o'clock every single night? And I'll give myself a yes or a no every single day. And this is awesome because of a quote from Peter Drucker that says, "What gets measured gets managed." Oftentimes we might lie to ourselves and think, oh, I did the habit, I'm like 80% adherent. But when you actually look at the data doesn't lie. But one thing I want to warn you of is choose 3 habits and only track those ones at a max. The reason why is I have tried to track so many freaking things in the past and I've literally just taken it to the extreme. I think I've done like over 20 at once, and it just like takes so much energy out of you, and it's really degrading when you see a bunch of them not checked off and you just, again, start to beat yourself up. It's much better to have those 3 certain ones kind of really built in and all of your attention going on them. For me, it's the one thing, which is the one specific task that I can do on a daily basis that is moving me closer to my future. The second one is meditation because I've noticed it just helps every freaking area of my life. And then also review and planning my day so I know what to do on a given basis and I'm not dealing with the whirlwind of notifications and things that are trying to take my time away. Another one that might not be for everyone, and I had an interesting experience with, is actually betting on yourself. So putting physical money on the line for a certain task. A really easy way to do this is an app called Beeminder. You put in your credit card and then you can set a certain goal. And progressively the amount as you mess up, or if you mess up, maybe you're perfect, but as you mess up will increase a little bit. And it follows this certain change theory algorithm that gets you to stay more adherent to your goal. And you can connect it to a bunch of different apps that can help automatically or manually track the stuff that you want. So we've got 2 more tips. The next is habit stacking that I learned from James Clear in his book called Atomic Habits. And essentially, at the end of a certain habit, we want to have that habit trigger and cue the next habit. A great example of this is if you have a morning routine or an evening routine. So for example, right when I have my tea at nighttime, that means I start to meditate, then I take a hot shower, then maybe I'll read a little bit, and then go to bed. So once you've started to notice and name the various habits that you have in your life already, you can start to connect stuff up. One of the easiest ones is going to be eating. You probably eat 2 to 3 times every single day. So for example, if you want to be more fit and active throughout the day, you can just go for a walk after one of your meals. Start off with 1, don't start off with all 3. I would just say that's gonna put too much of a toll on you. And again, we wanna make stuff easy, but that's just a good example. And the final one is meditation. It has literally been such a freaking hack in my life. We experience everything with our minds. So we can only be the best version of ourselves for ourselves and the people that we love if we know how to actually be present in the moment and we're aware of all of the stuff that's going on. And a great example is, for a majority of us, we have a really hard time concentrating on one thing. That can be working, reading a book, or having a chat with one of your friends. Your mind immediately starts just wandering off. And there's no wonder, like, social media has definitely affected that and given us all instant gratification where we need notifications 24/7. And if you're interested in making this a habit in your own life, be sure to check out this video here where I talk all about my experience with the Waking Up app.